All right, everybody, welcome back to the No Bullshit podcast. We are on episode 7, 6, something. I don't know. I'm not keeping track. I brought my legs back. You can see my thighs again. Got a lot of good feedback on the thighs, so I decided why not just keep showing them.
How'd you get feedback on the thighs if there's no comments on the videos?
Dude, because look, sometimes I see people in the street. I'm very famous. I'm a very famous person. People see me, they're like, "Oh, you're the thighs guy.
You're Mr. White Thighs.
You're Mr. White Thighs. We liked your thighs. Can you show them again?" That's the one thing they wanted, Dan. Out of the hundreds of views that we've gotten, they want the thighs. That's the one thing that's missing. Did you not see the last podcast? It hit 2 million views.
2 million?
2 million views in 2 minutes.
Where's my Subway fucking contract, bro?
It's been seen by everybody.
Everybody?
Everybody's seen it.
What about their grandma?
The grandmas, they saw it first.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to see the white thighs.
Because we're just such young, attractive young men. The grandmas want to see that shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, doesn't matter that people keep butchering my hair every time I get a haircut. I'm still a very attractive person. I'm serious. Every time I go get a haircut, I always tell them, look, will you please even up the sides? Just even them up. Like, I want to flip my hair to this side. I want even. I want to flip it to that side. I want even. And they're like, okay. And then I tip them real well. And then I come home and I brush my hair and it's fucking uneven. I'm just like, look, if I give you a $10 tip, will you please just do what I ask you to do?
That seems reasonable.
I'm gonna cry because I'm so upset. This has been a yearly thing. Years.
Oh man, it seems like it's really affecting you in the most negative
I don't even
way.
want to show my thighs to anybody because there might be one of those fucking hairdressers that fucked up my hair watching this. Just kidding. No one's watching us.
They're gonna.
No one cares.
We need to start doing clickbait headlines, dude. Like
what did?
Oh my god! ... Amazing. Emoji face.
Or it could just be the face of white ... and someone's gonna click on it and be like, oh, it's privilege, and it's the face of white thighs. That doesn't even make any sense.
I like it. I'd clickbait it.
They'd be like, these horrible white disgusting men,
these fucking privileged white bastards, dude,
sitting on in the meantime, I'm living in a 2-bedroom apartment and I can hear the fucking kids running around all goddamn night because someone was too cheap to build real good walls. There's a reoccurring thing happening in Bellingham, and it's the shitty infrastructure and how people build their fucking apartments, or they just don't even give a shit. They just inherited their property from the 60s and now they don't fucking care. They just see all the tenants as like peasants and they're like, fuck you, pay me. I don't give a shit that you can hear your neighbor taking a shit in his bathroom and he's constipated and he's probably dying on the toilet. I don't give a fuck. $1,200 a month. Pay up. Come on. I don't care that 3/4 of your money goes to rent. Pay me. Welcome to the West Coast.
It's like impossible if you're working minimum wage or even above minimum wage. Anything like below 20, you're still gonna get fucked in any living situation if you don't have a roommate.
Basically, what they don't understand is like, if you live in Los Angeles and someone works at Starbucks, like, okay, yeah, a lot of the time, some of the time, these people, they work at Starbucks, they make some money, it goes to their rent, they're living in a multi-person apartment or a house. They either live in a 2-bedroom with like 3 other people, or they live in a house with like 20 people. But like, there's a lot of people who don't want those jobs. Like, they just don't need them. Like, when you live in a place where like there's such a gap in the socioeconomic statuses of people, like, do you really think the kids whose parents can afford to live in places like Los Angeles or like Bellingham or Seattle, do you really think those kids are gonna work? No, they're gonna live off of their parents. So who ends up getting those jobs? Like usually the people who are coming out here to try and make something of themselves, but they have nothing to give because no one wants their shit.
Right.
So it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like no one wants these jobs because one, they don't pay enough to keep you afloat. And two, if you're someone who already has parents who can afford shit to give you, why the fuck are you gonna work like at Dairy Queen?
Right.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of struggling people who are gonna do it, but like normally, like, you know, like the high socioeconomic status is like if your parents are making like a couple $100,000 a year, are you gonna go work at Starbucks?
No, you're probably gonna say you're balling and live in your fucking parents'
I know this because
attic, dude.
that's what I did. Like, I was like, oh, my parents are doing pretty well. I don't want to work. Why would I want to work? Why would I want to work?
I don't know, dude. I can't fucking not work now, dude. I go crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
That's good.
Just my mini vacation I took. What a time that was.
Did you just miss going back to work while you were in Vegas?
Dude, it's like my body didn't know what to do with itself having all that free time. I was just like, fuck.
Were you just like, I gotta get out of here?
I gotta do something.
Like, were you in Vegas for too long?
Dude, first of all, Vegas is a great place. Fucking sights galore. Everything you ever wanted in a place. Hoover Dam, right? Fuck, that thing was crazy. But once you've been there for a couple days, you know what it's all about. You, like, for me at least, being like used to maybe just like a little less than extravagant, it was like, damn, this is nice, but I don't think I could do that this long, or like be there that long. It's just like, it's not my thing.
Because what are you gonna do? You can either gamble yourself to death, you could drink yourself to death, you can smoke in the casinos and gamble yourself to death, or you could just do porno and get fucked to death. I don't know. You have four options. Four options when you live in Vegas. You got four. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I just want to say shout out to Jake Mahoon. He won me $110 while I was there. So biggest underdog on the card, came up clutch.
Did you lose any money?
Oh fuck yeah! I lost a ton of money, dude. That was the one highlight of my fucking trip. That's why I'm shouting him out.
So
He made it a little less fucking heartbreaking and a little more bearable to go home with at least like $60 in my pocket.
How much money did you lose? That's the real question. Because he came up with $110?
$150 on a $45 bet. So that was nice. That was nice.
Okay, $150. How much money did you lose though?
Jesus Christ, dude. Between like gambling and then some of the other things we did.
I saw your eyes flicker. Like the way you.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I can't go into great detail, but
I mean you could, but
do I really want to?
That's what it comes down to.
Shout out to Larry Flint's Hustlers Club. Good time. If you ever want to go there, have a fun time.
Didn't you go with your girlfriend?
I did. She enjoyed it.
Oh, well,
we both enjoyed it.
That's a good thing. So if you have someone that cares enough about you to take you to Larry Flint's Hustler Club, you found a good person.
Yeah.
You found, I just want to say when I started this, I sounded like a very depressed person who was very angry about the high cost of living in Bellingham and Washington and Los Angeles. But I just want to say, I'm not. Look, I've genuinely struggled in a lot of ways. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 other people.
Mm-hmm.
With 4 other people. It was a revolving door. And the apartment complex hated me. They knew I was poor. That's why they tried why they tried to kick me out so many times. It's terrible. Where is the common decency? We got all these people online saying like, We need to fix the system. The system is inherently racist, and everybody be nice to each other. And if you call someone fat on Facebook, you're getting deplatformed. But at the same time, everybody's living in these shitty apartments, and the landlords are just like, fuck you, pay me. It's like, can we, okay, let's deal with like the problems that are outside social media. Let's talk about real life here for a second. Real life, you got shitty people who treat you shittily. They stuff you in boxes. They give you terrible jobs. They don't pay you a lot. You get fucked over by people because they just want money from you. They don't give a flying fuck what you can do. They just want money. But then we go online and we just like fucking yell at each other and say like, oh, you're a fucking racist or you're a fucking that. And these are important things in some cases, right? Like if someone's like on Twitter and saying that like, you know, fuck all black people or something, you know, yeah, fuck that person. But if you're just like, if someone said something like 7 years ago that was like slightly offensive, like, you know, that was 7 years ago. With like, who the fuck is going so far deep into like Twitter or Facebook to try and like deplatform people? That's just aggressive. That's just like a grudge. You're just like, I hate this person. I'm gonna fucking try and dig through some shit to try and fuck them over. In the meantime, you're living in a shitty studio apartment and there's rats running all over the place. There's cockroaches coming from the ceilings and the landlord's like, you're 2 months behind on rent. I don't give a fuck about these COVID restrictions. Fuck you, pay me. And then you're online fucking complaining about shit. Look at the world around you. Like, come on. How stupid are people sometimes? That's what I want to know. Like, so, I bet you some of these people would be quicker to call out racism than actually stop racism that's happening right in front of them.
I would have to agree, dude. That's the one thing that upset me so much about the George Floyd thing. It's like, okay, you put a camera, like you filmed it, you saw this person dying in front of you and you didn't do shit. Like, fuck those cops, first of all. They should have fucking known.
Oh my god.
They should have fucking known, dude. They took it way too goddamn far. And, like, I don't know. I hope I'm not gonna offend anybody by fucking talking about this. This is just my perspective. If I saw something like that happening in front of me, I don't give a fuck if somebody has a gun or has a position of power over me. I'm gonna fucking dive into that fucking pack and like just, I don't give a fuck, dude. Somebody's not gonna die in front of me when I know it's like unjust. Like when somebody's screaming for their fucking life or something, like
calling out for
you
their mom.
should be a human fucking being and stop that shit, dude. Like, don't film it. What are you gonna do filming it? You're not gonna stop shit. So what? You captured what happened. Like I don't know. It just drives me absolutely. It's like when I saw my fucking cousin in Canada after a very fucking hard time. Like we just went through some shit, but I heard out of the corner of my ear him getting fucked up. Like 3 fucking people were just standing over and fucking stomping his face in front of a dumpster, dude. What was my first fucking reaction? I was taking a bong hit in a fucking truck, dude. I fucking threw the bong on the ground, ran through traffic, and fucking stopped that shit, dude. Cause like, what was I gonna do? Stop and film it and be like, get off my fucking cousin, get off, you're killing him, you're killing him. Fucking stop that shit then, you know? Like, oh, people drive me crazy, dude. Like, don't, if you see something unjust happening, you know it's fucked up, you pull your fucking pants up, you stop that shit, you know? That's what's wrong with today. We rather film something fucked up happening than fucking actually do something about it. And that's what's got me all fucked up, dude. And fuck those cops and everything. You fucking abused your power. It's fucked up, dude. Got me all fucked up. Now I'm sweating.
You're getting hyped. I like it. I like the energy. This is the Energetic Podcast. This is the podcast.
No fucking bullshit, dude.
Jackson! Fuck those cops, son.
New Jack City, boy.
No, I understand your perspective. Like that's a really good point. That's not something that most people have brought up. It's that like the call to action, right? Because someone recording it, right, they probably think that's enough. Like they think that's gonna change everything, right? Because now it's on film. Like now you can see the abuse of power happening. And I understand that point of view. But like you make a very good point when drawing comparisons to how one of our cousins was getting beat up and you stepped in to save his life potentially. Right? Like, do you stop and film what's happening? Because that could be powerful. But what's even more powerful is if you step in and try and help, right? You stop someone from dying, you know? And I don't know. I mean, like maybe, okay, so more than likely, the person who was recording that incident probably did not know who George Floyd was, right? So maybe there's that disconnect. But if you care enough to film what's going on, why don't you step in to try and do something? Because that's obviously one of those situations where it's like what's happening is incredibly unjust and evil. But instead of actually taking action by stepping in and trying to save someone's life, you know, and maybe inspiring other people around you to come in and chime in and put pressure on the police to stop. Because if you record a cop doing something, I mean, like, obviously, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do shit. Because we have all this footage of cops abusing power, and they don't stop what they're doing. They still go through with what they're doing, you know? So it's like, what is a true call to action? Is a true call to action stepping in? I think it is, you know? The thing is that it's risky, right? Because when you step in and you have 4 cops, right? Like, one of them could kill you. I mean, they're already killing a guy in that video. They did kill him. They killed a guy, right? So do you endanger your life by stepping in and doing something physical? Do you step in? Do you tap the police officer on his shoulder? Do you step in front of him? Do you, like, jump in front of the cop and say, what the fuck are you doing, right?
Right.
Do you push him off? Like, what happens? You know what I mean? Like, it's that's a hard thing to dissect and to try and understand. But I completely understand your point of view, you know, like, and that's what scares people too. It's like, you know, like we're so weak in comparison to like what people used to go through. You know what I mean? Like the things we complain about now, it's like, oh, I fucking ordered Postmates and the food arrived 5 hours late. 1 star. But it's like back in the day, you used to have to fucking hunt for days and kill a fucking buffalo, and like there's a storm of buffalo like trying to run you down, like, and you just see your friend get stomped by a bunch of buffalo. So you're like, you pick that buffalo out, you're like, you're the one I ate tonight. You kill that fucking buffalo.
Fucking bathe in its blood.
Right, and then you come home and like and half the tribe is dead because it was freezing last night. Meanwhile, like 1,000 years later, someone's like giving someone a 1-star review on Postmates because their food arrived 5 minutes late.
Oh my god.
Dude, fuck Postmates. I used to work for Postmates. You know how shitty that job is? I would drive for 30 minutes in traffic to give someone food, like 2 miles away, because like traffic in Hollywood is so bad. It would take me 30 fucking minutes from the time I get the order to the time I go to the restaurant to pick up the food to drop it off at that person. It took me 30 fucking minutes. You know how much money I made? I made like $4.22. The only way you can survive off of a job like that, which is what I did, was you have to make tips. If you don't make tips, you're fucked. But a lot of the time, these same social justice warriors who are on Twitter complaining about how fucked the world is Meanwhile, they won't even give you a fucking tip on Postmates because they don't give a flying fuck
Yeah,
about
how many of those-
actual people.
How many of those kids are fucking trust fund babies and shit, dude?
Oh yeah, I had a friend who was a trust fund baby. He's not a friend anymore. We got in a big fight, but he was a trust fund baby. He was like 27 years old, and his parents were still paying for all this shit. He would order Postmates all the time. You think he tipped any of them?
Fuck no.
No, of course not. He was too busy stuffing his face burgers and complaining about how, oh, I want to be an actor, but like, fuck this industry, I'm like, yeah, it's a hard fucking industry. Like, you're trying to tell me that your shit doesn't stink compared to like 99% of the whole entire world. 99.9% of the rest of the world. You're trying to tell me that your shit, when it comes to creative arts and expressing yourself through performing arts, that you're better than all those people. Like, can you dance? Can you sing? Can you get up right now and perform like an inspiring monologue? Can you do what Joaquin Phoenix did in The Joker? Can you do that right now?
Have you ever seen the movie The Master?
I have. That's a fantastic movie.
Dude, when he freaks out in the jail cell.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Joaquin Phoenix is the fucking... He's on another level.
He's the king of tantrums, bro.
There's a couple actors that can legitimately do everything. But like most actors nowadays, they're kind of just like... What they really are is they're just faces. Like, someone in casting or a producer or a director or all the above, they see one person and they're like, that's the face I want. That's the face of my character. And but they don't even give a flying fuck about whether or not the person's a good actor or not. They just, what determines whether you get a role or not a lot of the time? It's who you know, how big are you, do you have a large presence on social media, can we make money off of you? Do you look the part? And sometimes they don't even give a flying fuck. Like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, we want an overweight, like, pimply looking kid. And then they end up, like, casting, like, Jake Paul to play him. It's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I've seen that before. Like, I've gone out on auditions where, I fit the character description of what they wanted. And then they do, like, a 180 on me, and they're like, hey, we're looking for, like, a petite, like, trans person. And I'm like, okay, I guess,
that's... How long you want me to throw up for?
Yeah, like, how long do you want me to throw up for? Do I need to go chop my penis off now? Like, what do you want? And look, like, here's the thing. They're trying to be, less exclusive, right? Like, they're trying to broaden, like, who can be actors, and, they're trying to diversify, and these are great things. They're great in principle. The only problem is like, do we really want, like, why do we want, like, these people who have been oppressed for so long to get into an industry that is set up to oppress them? Like, why are we like, we need to give more trans people, like, roles in acting? I'm like, no, we need to give them, like, real fucking jobs and integrate them into society, because acting is a fucking hard industry. Like, by all means, go chase your dreams, do whatever the fuck you want, but understand one thing. Acting is a fucking hard industry where 99% of the people who go in fail miserably. They waste years of their lives. They don't accomplish anything. They become bitter, angry people. And, like, I had an acting coach, right, who was like, he was always like, he did some stuff, but he never made it, right? He was my instructor at James Franco School. He had done, like, a movie. He did a play with James Franco. But this was the same guy who was, like, telling us we all need to treat each other better. We need to be good people. We need to be social justice warriors. I think in the meantime, he's, like, fucking half the students in the class, and, like, he's driving one crazy because he's got a girlfriend, but then he's fucking, like, this girl on the side, this person of color, and, like, he's just obviously abusing this person, right? Because, like, he has a girlfriend, but then he's fucking this girl, and then this girl has a breakdown because she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Like, maybe this teacher promised her things. Like, maybe he was like, well, I'm, friends with James Franco. Like, I could get you into one of his movies because that's part of what the school was doing. Like, it was part of the opportunity of being in the school was you could do projects with James Franco. Like, you could do some of his movies. He might cast you in something. He might give you a prominent role. So who knows what the fuck he's telling this woman, right? Like, he could be telling her anything. He's got a girlfriend, he's fucking her, and then he's fucking this girl, and then all of a sudden this girl breaks down, she starts throwing books around, she comes into classes, she's making a giant fit, and it's like, this dude who was more than likely, like, mentally abusing this woman, it's the same guy who's telling us we need to treat each other better, but he doesn't even use it himself. Like, you see a lot of this hypocrisy. Like, you see a lot of these people who say but don't do. It's like the governor of California. He tells everybody to wear 2 masks. He says, put your mask on when you're eating, just lift it up, put it back down in between your bites of food. Don't go out for family gatherings. Limit your household to 5 people at most. And then this fucking guy is in a restaurant with no mask with like more than 10 people.
Right.
And it's like, bro, like, you can't even fucking practice what you preach. And this is what you see a lot of from people nowadays, is you see a lot of people, they're just out here trying to condemn people and tell you what the fuck to do. And in the meantime, they don't even fucking do it themselves. It's like, who the fuck are these people? What do they do for us? Like, how did they get in positions of power? Like, I can't blame them for thinking we're so stupid we're not going to look into their actions. Because if we're dumb enough to elect these people, then they probably think we're dumb enough to do the shit that we tell them, that they tell us to do, and not condemn them when they do it, Like, can you blame them? Because we're dumb enough to put you in office. I didn't vote for the fucking guy. I don't even really vote.
I think people are prone to mistakes, right? And like the whole thing with this pandemic has at least really opened my eyes, is like everybody's a bit of a fucking hypocrite, right? It's like, shout out to the Bible, dude. Don't pass judgment, because like, unless ye be judged, right? Like, do you want somebody to judge you for your mistakes when somebody else? But that's why it's like, these people in power, where's the fucking honesty nowadays, It's like everything is just to get a vote or to get somebody's approval, and then we get people switching sides and being I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for. Playing both sides, right? And I'm fucking prone to this too. I'll play both sides to like just avoid whatever fucking conflict or bullshit I don't want to deal with, I don't know, it's like I think somewhere along the line we got afraid of telling people exactly how we feel and doing exactly what we want to do, because we became so fucking sophisticated and so just like want to be correct in everybody's eyes. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or something. But it's like, what happened to having a little fucking, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
To me, it feels like the same people who are sucking our dicks are also fucking us in the ass. Like, they're like, I'll appease you, please. I'll lower taxes. Like, I'll build homeless shelters. Here's your cock. Let me suck it. Let me suck your cock. I promise you. I'll give you what you want. Now bend over.
Oh my god.
Bend over. I sucked your cock. Now it's your turn.
Fuck, dude.
Dude, but that's exactly what it is. Like, these people, like, they come out, they tell you what to do, they have the right ideas, like, they say they care about people, but do they really? Like, they don't care about people. And I think you're right. I think people are so afraid to speak what's really on their mind because we're all sort of walking these tightropes. Like, we're trying to walk this tightrope where we don't piss anyone off. And when you go online, it should be a happy place with unicorns and rainbows, and people aren't calling you fat, and they're not saying mean things to you, But it's like, you can't that world does not fucking exist. Look at all of human existence. Has that world ever existed? No, it doesn't. People are inherently flawed from the beginning. They're inherently flawed. children. They fight with each other all the time. It's not because they pick up on any social cues. They just fucking do it because it's inherent. We're inherently monkeys. We're inherently monkeys. What have monkeys been doing since the dawn of time? Fighting, fucking, and beating each other up. Like, just like they eat. Sorry, I fucked that up. They eat, they fuck, they beat each other up. That's what they do. And that's basically what people want to. Like, people just, like, inherently, they want food, they want sex, they want comfort, they want to fight people they don't like. You know, that's where you get these class divisions, and that's where you get, like, just look at sports. Like, remember one time we were, like, walking out of, like, the Seahawks game? Do you remember this? There was a dude behind us. I can't remember if the Seahawks lost or if the guy was, like, there for a different team. And, like, the guy, like, whoever the team he was with, like, they lost. And he was walking behind us. And I remember because I was a little younger, and he was like, I can't believe they fucking lost. If someone says anything about my team, I'm gonna stab him in the face. Like, he said some shit like that.
Jesus
That's what he
Christ.
said. Like, and I remember looking over my shoulder, looking at this dude, and he looked like if I said the wrong thing, he was gonna stab me in the face.
Oh my god.
That's literally like that. I'm a little kid looking behind me. I'm like, oh god, like this dude. If I say the wrong thing, he's gonna like try and stab me in the face or something. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm like a little kid. Like, this is a grown man. I mean, he looked like he was a short grown man. He was like 5'5" or something. He was just one of those angry short dudes. And, like, I'm just looking behind my shoulder, little kid, like, maybe 11, 13, whatever. I'm like, this dude is gonna stab someone because his team lost a game. Like, that's like, you know, and everybody has a little bit of that, too. Like, anytime someone's team loses or somebody, like, has, like, a problem with something, like, they always, like, you know, we're so quick to judge people and, like, condemn them. And it's like, where's the, like, is it really that big of a deal? Does it affect your day that much? Does it really?
Dude.
Or are you just trying to be a part of something because your life is so meaningless? Like, I don't know.
Is this time for a story time? Should I drop a story on people now?
You should drop a story because I've been talking a lot.
Okay, so, I don't know, you weren't living at the house when I had my second little freak out and had to go away for a little bit. Were you there?
I don't believe so.
I
no.
think, okay. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm an ex-pill addict, and just like, used to be very passionate about things, maybe the wrong things, the Seahawks being one of them. And
Fair enough.
let's just say, leading up into the, I think it was 2016 game versus the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks, I think it was like the divisional round of the playoffs. I had taken 18 5-milligram Valiums the night before.
Jesus.
I was fucked up. I was with my cousin and this other chick, and I kind of had like a crush on this chick, and she was kind of digging on my cousin, and I just didn't handle it right. I wasn't saying what was actually on my mind. I was being like a little fucking weirdo or whatever. And ended up leaving that scene that night, going home, almost fucking dying, just like breathing in the fucking downstairs basement, trying not to lose my shit. And then the next morning, Will and I, my little brother, were watching the Seahawks game, and I am just losing my shit. They get down 31-0, I think, at the half, and they start making a comeback. I'm getting all fucking passionate and heated and shit, and I'm like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. I was just like, calm down, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why are you taking this so serious? And I was just like, I don't fucking know. And just like,
I don't know.
Go into the bathroom. There's like 13 5-milligram Valiums left, and I just fucking take them all like a fucking dumbass and just like continue my downward spiral. Anyways, the Seahawks lose. My cousin isn't like responding to my messages. I think I was just absolutely freaking out on him, being like, why are you digging on this girl? Oh, you probably fucked her last night, blah, blah, blah. Just being a fucking piece of shit, basically. Saying just completely whack-ass shit to him. And our uncle, I think, reads his phone because he hears this. He hears what's going on, and he's like, what the fuck? Somebody's like blowing up my kid's phone. So he sees the messages and he calls dad or something, and dad's like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, did you really send these messages?" And I was like, "I don't want to fucking talk about it," just completely losing my shit. Anyways, our uncle ends up coming over, rightfully so, probably wanting to beat my ass, which I definitely deserve, dude. But I ended up being a little bitch, walking around the block, fucking throwing my phone at him and dad, and just, causing just a fucking unnecessary scene. And, well, later on, do some whack shit. I won't go into great details, but just like, ended up trying to steal my mom's car, driving up the road, getting arrested, yada yada yada, blah blah blah.
Wonderful time, Dan.
Yeah, dude, just an absolute blast. I look back at that with so many fond memories. But yeah, dude, ended up getting arrested. Couldn't see my mom for a couple months just because of everything that happened, and I think it really opened the door on how fucking crazy I am. Just if I don't give myself something to do and take my mind off of my own bullshit, I am not gonna be a good person. And just having made some pretty bad mistakes even in this last year, it's I need to really watch my little progressions, see how things are going, and just not step into those same demon areas, bro, because shit gets dark real quick, and if you're not giving yourself the right outlets and accepting your little flaws or whatever, shit can get real dark real quick. I don't know why I even went on that. What did this tie to?
Well, I think, here's my perspective on what you're saying. And by the way, you're a completely different person now than you were then. Of course.
Word.
But you found yourself in a hole, right? And I think the thing is that a lot of people who find themselves in that hole, they stay in that hole. You know what I mean? Because I guarantee you, anyone who goes down the wrong path is gonna find themselves in a very similar hole that you were in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The difference between you and other people is that you got yourself out of that hole. You became a completely different person. But a lot of people stay in that hole, right? And it's really easy, right? Because it's a comforting place. You get to express yourself freely without any regard for anyone else. And then, you indulge in all the things you want to indulge in, especially if you have people taking care of you who, don't give you any boundaries. You just keep running through that cycle over and over again. And then you blame other people for your problems. And I think a lot of people find themselves there, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are mentally, and I say a lot this is the whole world. No, I mean a lot okay, there's tens of millions of people in America that probably feel this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
That feel cut off from the rest of the world. The only way they interact is through social media or with bad groups of friends, and they form these collective opinions amongst themselves, about how the rest of the world is wrong. But in the meantime, they're doing pills and abusing drugs and drinking too much and not exercising and getting invested in shit that they really shouldn't be invested in. They need to be invested in themselves, right? You see people in the Proud Boys and in Antifa, right? Do any of them look like they take care of themselves? Everyone that's a Proud Boy looks like they came from some fucking farm, some farm community, and they're wearing fucking horns and shit from today's kill and the body paint and shit. They look like a lot of hicks, right? And then you see all these people on Antifa and they just look they're all dressed in black, they look like punks, they look like fucking emo kids that live in their parents' basement and they didn't accomplish anything with their lives. Now here's their shining moment to do something. Same with the Proud Boys. It's they live in a fucking county that's very isolated, or they live in these communities that have very little people. There's not a whole lot of opportunity. They're all sort of hickish. These are all people who, instead of trying to help themselves, are trying to instill their own ideologies on people, right? But these are the same people who are trying to instill their ideologies on us. And they can't even take care of themselves. And then these companies, like these woke companies, like they get involved and then they ban people or they support the wrong people. And then in the meantime, you know, they're like saying like, oh, we denounce racism, but, you know, we're still gonna go manufacture shit in China where people are treated like slaves because, you know, we make more money that way. Like, we can't give you any money. We can't give you our money. You can't take our money, but we'll say racism is bad. But, you know, hopefully this keeps you distracted from us, like, you know, exploiting slave labor in China. You know, it's all fucked. Like, we distract ourselves with these things, whether it's pills or, you know, games or fucking the internet, and we never stop to really, like, focus on ourselves and what do we really want and how can we make ourselves better, because you can't take care of anyone if you can't take care of yourself.
Yep, I'm still learning that every day.
Like, could you imagine having a kid right now?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Dude, I can't have kids right now. What, am I crazy?
Dude. Like, that's the one thing that scares me about, like, having a relationship right now, too, and everything is, like, God, when are you ever ready for that responsibility? Is that something that just kind of gets, like, you hear, like, parents and stuff, and it's like, it never really was ideal. It kind of just fucking happened. There you are, there's a kid.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, there's got to be some, like, real, like, great responsibility, but also, like, concern, like all those things in your head that you kind of try to ignore up until that point become very real. Like, you kind of have to start really, I'm assuming at least, like compartmentalizing those things, because it's like you want to see this person that you created do better than you did, you know. And if you don't, then fuck, I think that's where we get a lot of things wrong, dude. Because if you're not ready to, like, make sure this person's having a better life than you did, or at least trying, like, maybe you're not the most financially stable, maybe you don't have everything that the kid wants or you want to give it, but like I don't know, what I see from a lot of, like, younger people and stuff is they just, like, almost want to be heard, like, you know, I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't have a kid. This is just my fucking opinion, dude.
You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's a podcast. That's the whole point. You can say whatever you want. I'm looking at the time right now, making sure that we haven't hit the hour mark. If I keep glancing at the camera and staring directly at the people watching, that's why.
Okay.
Because we have an hour to do this. I have to do groceries.
You gotta do groceries.
I gotta do groceries. I've gotta do an audition. I've got things I have to do. I can't just sit on this couch all day, Dan, and talk to you about things I can't change. Which, by the way, I think, speaking of kids, that was a wonderful sound you made.
No, thank you.
Was that like a slug screaming in your throat? Like,
that was the years of phlegm and mucus that have been caught in my chest and congestion. I'm dying.
Sorry to hear that. But no, speaking of kids, I think only millionaires should have children. I'm kidding. But seriously, I think millionaires should only have children, because if you're not a millionaire, or you don't have at least $500,000, it's going to be real hard to give that kid all the things it needs. Think about it. You gotta have health insurance for the kid, right? Thousands of dollars a year.
Jesus Christ.
What happens if something goes wrong? Surgery. Thousands of dollars.
Kid breaks his thumb climbing on the monkey bars.
Kid breaks his thumb climbing on the monkey bars. Thousands of dollars. You gotta get a dog for the kid. Thousands of dollars if it's purebred. If you love him, or her, or whoever. Or if you hate him, you get a dog from the animal shelter that'll probably kill him, or her, or whoever, because
Oh my god.
Because it's a homeless monster. They picked the dog off the street. Obviously, no one wants that dog. It's a homeless monster. Thousands of dollars for that purebred dog. You gotta take him to school. If you love him, you put him in private school. Thousands of dollars a year.
Fuck that. If you hate him, you put him in private school, dude. Put him on a pedestal.
Are you telling me you want your kid to eat pizza and mashed potatoes from a public school every day?
Did that shit, dude. You remember our fucking Catholic school experience? The lunchroom shit? It was the fucking expired shit from the public school.
But that was the poor people's private school, Dan. I'm talking about like the private schools. They fly you on a plane. It takes you to an island, and it's like Hogwarts, but without magic. And all the rich kids are fucking each other. That's the private school I'm talking about. If you want that life for your child, you have to be a millionaire. All right?
So if you want to have a sociopath.
If you want a kid who's going to come into this world and run a Fortune 500 company and never have to worry about anything, you're going to have to be a millionaire. Fuck China. Fuck China. Their one policy, child law. Fuck them. We want only millionaires. It's not enough. It's not enough to just have the one child policy. We want parents to be millionaires. We're going to look at your tax returns, and then we'll determine whether or not you get a child. Because if you're not a millionaire, if you're not ready to give this world another person who can run a Fortune 500 company that can support themselves all on their own, get out. Don't have that child. I'm not being serious about any of this, by the way.
I feel you.
They're jokes. They're jokes, people. Jokes. The jokes.
Take anything we say serious on
have
this
as
podcast.
many kids as you want. As many as you want. I lived in Los Angeles. If you go to East LA, we're talking about like Boyle Heights and that shit. It's basically Mexico. I drive through Boyle Heights. I'm like the only white person there. There's like 8 people in like a 2-bedroom house. Like it's like, they can have kids. You can have kids too. Have as many kids as you want. You only make $30,000 a year? Great. Have 30 kids. You have $1,000 for each kid. That's all they get to live off of. Just $1,000 and whatever the government gives you.
You got the most fucking fertile seed in the world. You have 30 kids and your wife's like, don't you ever touch me again.
Dude,
don't you ever touch me again.
Dude, but some women are incredibly fertile. Like, it's like...
Not nowadays, dude, with all the goddamn birth control and fucking problems we got going on.
But I'm talking about the good old days, Dan. I'm talking about, I'm talking about when women had no rights and men came home.
Oh my god.
I'm talking about when women had no rights and the man came home, and if the woman didn't make him a martini the moment he stepped through the door, he slapped the living shit out of her. And she would go home, she would go to bed at night and know that she deserved it because she didn't make him a martini the moment he stepped inside.
And that's why all your grandparents have butcher mark scars across their chest.
Exactly. Again, these are jokes.
These are fucking jokes.
These are jokes. They're dark, but they're jokes. Don't take them seriously. Look. So many people are gonna stop here.
They're like, I'm done. I'm not watching this shit. All they do is incite me with no hope.
Sometimes they make a lot of sense, and then they say something that is
completely
horrible,
outlandish, dude.
But look, no, back to the point. Like, look at Grandma, right? Grandma had 9 children. 9 children.
And she named all the women Mary.
She named all the women because she had a lot. Can you blame her? She had a lot of children.
To be fair, they did go by middle names.
They went by middle names, but look, if you got confused, right? Like, You could just say Mary.
You could just fucking yell at all of them. Get them all in front of you.
You could just be like, Mary, Mary, Mary. Like,
fuck you all.
Yeah, like, look, you don't have to remember all their names. You've got 9 children. I'm sure you're gonna get confused sometimes, you know? Maybe, especially if they're back-to-back pregnancies. Like, everybody just looks like a baby. They all just look like babies. How are you gonna know who they are? You have 9 children. Best case scenario, you know who the boys are and you know who the girls are.
Oh no, she had 8 children. If that wasn't enough, she adopted one.
That's right. She had 8 children and she adopted one because she just wanted to make her life a living hell for as long as she could. But look, this is the stark difference between then and now. Back in those days, you could have 9 children. It was fine. They were like, just keep cranking them out. Do it for God. There's enough money to go around. A house costs like $1,000. And nowadays it's like, ha 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 ha. This piece of shit apartment costs $1,200. Thank you. And if you have a child here, it's a living hell because they run around like crazy, stomping on the walls and shit. You gotta give them a bath at like 3 in the morning because they shit themselves, and the plumbing here is terrible, and the walls are paper thin, so you can hear the child like screaming in the bathtub. It's wonderful. I love it.
It's like, what's eating Gilbert Grape? Oh, you left him in the fucking bathtub all night while you went and got pussy.
Dude, yeah, you know. And look, I don't want to stereotype, but look, if you have a family and you live in an apartment, you did something wrong, especially a shitty apartment. Like, you've done something wrong, or you got dealt a bad hand. Like, look, I've been dealt a bad hand. I've lived in Los Angeles. I was living paycheck to paycheck. Did I ever have a kid? No. Why would I want to bring a kid into my hell of a life? I've dealt with so many lawsuits and like shitty like landlords and like terrible friends who just want to get fucked up every weekend or every day, and they say they're artists, but they don't do anything, they don't make anything, they just get fucked up all the time. That's like 90% of the people that come out to Los Angeles. They're like, I'm an artist, and I care about people, and I want to do great things for the world. Now hold my bottle of Percocet, I'm going to take a shot. And it's like,
destroy my frontal cortex before it develops so I can completely be creative.
Yeah, it's like 1 p.m. and these people are still fucked up from like the night before. You know, because they were partying till 6
They were
a.m.
fucking posting pictures of their shit, you know, being actually creative. Then the drugs came in. Now you know, or now before you know it, they're posting sex toys on their goddamn Instagram, just promoting like, oh, my friend, she's got a new line of lingerie. Go get it, feel sexy, creativity.
Yeah. Well, that you're talking about influencers, right?
I don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about
the woman who's supporting her friend's lingerie company. That might be okay, Dan. Maybe it's
maybe I'm a hater.
Maybe you're a hater.
Maybe I'm a fucking hater.
Maybe we're both haters. Maybe we're just disgruntled people who have lived far too many lives in our short amount of lives.
Oh, God.
Think about it. We've lived a lot of lives in just our short amount of time on this planet. We've lived more lives than some people who are in their, like, 50s. Isn't that interesting? Maybe we're the fuck-ups, Dan, because we've lived all these lives and we're still not millionaires.
God damn it,
But
dude.
this is why you need to listen to the fucking podcast. This is why you need to listen. Because if you listen, we'll become millionaires. And all the pain and suffering we've gone through will be worth it.
You let Jake Paul knock out Ben Askren. How does that feel, guys? Shout out Jake Paul. You can actually fucking box. I've been the biggest hater of Jake Paul, dude. I literally am jealous as fuck of that dude. Just because, you know, he did make a name for himself, god damn it, and who knows what problems and issues him and his brother went through in his life, you know? They made it to here. His brother's about to fight Floyd Mayweather. Who the fuck knows? Maybe he knocks out Floyd Mayweather and the world just starts burning down to the ground,
dude,
you know?
If he knocks out Floyd Mayweather, the world will burn to the ground. Las Vegas will be on fire for days.
Oh my God.
That's
I
possible.
hope it happens. I hope it happens.
There's a strong possibility that happens. We'll find out. When's the fight? It's in June?
I think it's June or July.
If it's in... Dude, we'll find out in a couple of months. It's going to be interesting. Here's the thing, though. The Jake Paul-Ben Askren fight does not surprise me because Ben Askren, regardless of how good a wrestler he is...
He's not a boxer.
He's not a boxer, number one. And number two, he's not really in the greatest shape. Like, you look at him...
He looked like the Grinch.
He looked like the Grinch. He looks like a guy who's, you know, he goes to Burning Man every year. He gets a little too fucked up, and then he says some things that, like, kind of make the girls nervous. He's like one of your friends, right? He's like one of your friends who's not terribly attractive looking. He doesn't really take care of himself, so, you know, occasionally he says something to, like, one of you, like, the girls in the group. And he's a little drunk, so you gotta step aside. You gotta be like, Ben, look, you know, I'm glad you're here, Ben, but, like, you need to, like, just relax, Ben, relax. You don't have to tell her that, you know, she has nice boobs. She knows she has nice boobs. You don't have to tell her she has nice boobs. Ben, we're glad you're here, Ben, but seriously, Ben, just calm down, okay? That's who Ben Askren looks like.
Yeah.
Look, he's a great wrestler. Like, I've looked at his, like, wrestling career. Phenomenal wrestler. But he's not in the shape he was in then. He's not a boxer. You know, Jake Paul is regardless of how you feel about him.
He put in the fucking work, dude. Like,
he puts in work.
Yeah.
You know, he talks a lot of shit, but that's part of the game. That's what people don't understand. Like, do they honestly think that the Paul brothers would be as famous as they are now
if they didn't fucking work?
If they didn't, number one, if they didn't work. But here's where the work comes in. They are trolls. They talk a lot of shit because that's what gets them attention. That's their work. They're haters. They're villains. And they vilify themselves at the sake of being good people to get attention. You know? Maybe they're good people. Maybe if you really get to know them, and I doubt this, they're good people. I doubt it. I doubt that they're good people. I heard that Jake Paul is having, like, some rape accusations thrown at him, so probably not a good person. But anyway, here's the thing. They put in the work by vilifying themselves, making themselves look like the villains. It's the same thing that Floyd Mayweather does, right? Regardless if you hate him. Everybody wants to see him knocked out because he's on Instagram. He's at these shows with all these cars, and, you know, he's got the gold and chains and the fucking watch and everything. He's out here. He's Money Mayweather. Like, we're all like, you motherfucker, why do you have the money and I don't? Like, that's how people
feel.
That's how people feel when they see him. and he knows this and he plays it to his advantage. He puts in the work. But he also personified himself in this way to get himself attention, which is also part of the work. You know, controversy is always going to attract more attention than a guy who's, like, straight-laced, you know, right? Like, let's think about it here, right? More people know who Conor McGregor is than Khabib. Khabib, great fighter, arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time. But if I talk to non-MMA fans, you know, if I ask them, who do you know, Khabib or Conor McGregor? They're going to be like, Conor McGregor, of course, you know?
They'll be like, Khabib McGregor.
Khabib McGregor.
I love that guy.
He's his brother, right?
He's the greatest wrestler striker ever.
But it's because controversial personalities attract attention.
Shout out Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X.
Oh my god.
Giving Satan a lap dance in a music video.
God damn, those music videos are something else.
That dude really fucked with everybody because he was like, I'm going to do this song with Billy Ray Cyrus. All these 7-year-olds are going to love it. And then a couple years from now, I'm going to be giving Satan a lap dance.
Yeah.
You know, and all the kids are going to watch it. They're going to cry. And then they're going to question, you know, and then the parents are going to be mad because now their children are, you know, having weird ideas about life and shit. They got nightmares in the middle of the night. It's great. It's fucking with everybody. It's a cool thing. I don't give a fuck what he does.
I don't give a fuck what anybody does, dude.
I
Just
don't
entertain me, goddammit. That's all I want. That's all I ask for.
Here's what I really want. I want the people who tell us what to do, the leaders that tell us what to do, and the good things to do.
To line off and jump off a bridge.
Yes. Jump off a bridge. Stop telling me what the fuck to do. I'm sick of it. Yeah. Anyway.
We really covered a lot of topics today.
Dude, I feel like if people who personally know me watch this, they're going to have a completely different opinion on me. They're going to be like, why did you say that? Why?
I'll be like, I can't fucking live with all this shit in my head. I need to say it and get it out there so that I don't have a fucking manic episode in front of everybody.
There you go, Dan. There we
go.
I think you're entitled to speak however you want. Are you a good person?
I'm a good person.
Am I a good person?
You're a good person.
No, it's fine. But anyway.
Oh, geez.
Look, we hit the hour mark, so we're pretty much done here.
We did it.
You know, everybody tuned out after the first 30 seconds because they were like, is this Lil Nas X twerking on Satan? No? Okay,
Fuck you.
I gotta go. This is over.
This is no imagination. This is killing me right now.
Yeah, this is killing me. I hate watching these two guys sit on this couch. I literally want to kill them. I gotta do something else. Look, the neighbors are already mad at us. They're walking around angrily upstairs. There's a dude blasting music in the next door.
They put on emo punk rap to spite our sounds.
Yeah, no, they've been doing that, Dan. This apartment is a hellhole, and it's all thanks to, these entitled landlords who feel like they don't have to give us what we pay for.
Stack them up, dude,
Dude, I'm suing my landlord. Did I tell you that?
Let's not talk about that, dude.
I'm gonna sue my landlord because no one should live like this, alright? Nobody. I don't give a flying fuck. You're getting sued.
We're gonna have
suing
to edit this out.
I don't know. I don't care, dude. I've sued so many people in small claims, and I've won every small claims court. Every small claims I went to, I've won them. You know why? Because I'm right. I'm right. That's why. Shout out to all the judges who allowed me to take money from people who fucked me over. Thank you.
Who were being bad people.
Look.
To be fair,
there's no such thing as good and bad. There's just shades of gray. I look white on the outside, but I'm gray on the inside. That's what it is. I'm a good person who will do terrible things to bad people. Batman. I'm Batman. Shout out to Batman. I used to dress up as Batman when I was a kid. But not the badass Batman. I dressed up as the Adam West Batman. I would get up on a table and dance in front of my aunts and uncles. That's why I'm a terrible dancer now. Because I was like, yo, Adam West Batman's got the moves. Now I just dance like that at parties, and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
what is he doing?
What is this guy doing? Get out. Whatever. Y'all just jealous of my moves.
You entertain.
That's all I'm trying to do. Look, one day I'm just gonna have a mental breakdown. I'm gonna vilify. I'm going to villainify. I'm gonna become a villain. I'll be a villain. I'll be the next Jake and Logan Paul. But hey, at least I have a mansion, a couple $1 million in the bank, and yeah, I won't give a fuck what everybody else says.
Don't give a fuck, dude.
Fuck it.
Fuck them.
Fuck it. Fuck them. Look, no, honestly, everybody, just if there's anything to take away from this podcast, it's this. If the neighbors upstairs start stomping really loudly above you, they start stomping, you stomp back.
You stomp back, goddammit. Don't let your roommates play music while you're trying to sleep for your night shift without you playing some really crazy shit back, Be a fucking passive aggressive person, because it's all there.
Yeah.
We're all a little bit passive aggressive.
Everybody nowadays is passive aggressive. We're all passive aggressive.
Don't let anybody ever one up you.
Don't let anyone one up you. You know what? Everybody just be a sociopath.
Yep. Oh
just be a sociopath. Men, we've been complaining about toxic masculinity forever. It's built in your DNA.
Yeah.
It's built in your DNA. Just be a sociopath. And women, we're already encouraging women to be sociopaths.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, don't take anyone's shit. Be a woman. Be a monster. Don't let them do anything you don't like. Take the world. Who runs the world? Girls. Runs the world. Girls.
Shut up.
Who runs this motherfucker? See? Just go be a sociopath. Fuck
do
it.
it.
Go do it.
Just do it. Nike.
Just go do it.
Now,
Look, if there's
buy the stock so I get rich.
Buy the stock. He invested in the stock. Please tell me you don't have Robinhood.
God, fuck no.
Good.
I have stash.
Good. That's the one to go with. Robinhood sucks now. It's ran by African warlords who murder people on the behest of Wall Street. They
With
killed
spears.
with spears.
Okay.
They speared all the Redditors who invested in GameStop. A bunch of people on CNN started crying about it. They were like,
the stock dropped again.
they're manipulating the stock market. Only we're supposed to do that. And then they called up their African warlords and they said, hey, look,
We need you to come to America. We'll get you a private jet.
do you have any spears?
They all live in their basement, so nobody's gonna hear the sounds when you're murdering these.
Yeah, they're on Twitter. They're complaining about everything. You can just go downstairs. Go downstairs.
I'm fucking sick of myself, dude. I'm so sick of myself.
Do you feel like
right
a dirty?
I feel dirty. I feel like I need to take another shower now.
I haven't showered, so I'm really dirty.
Dude, you're just soaking in evil right now.
Look, just be a good person, all right? If you tell someone something that's good, just practice what you preach. That's it.
That's it.
I'm not trying to change the world here. Whatever. Look, this podcast is going on for too long. This is the evil podcast. The evil podcast.
Next time we'll come in fucking robes and
yeah, next time I'll dress up as a
angel
priest.
ears and shit.
You'll dress up as a priest too. We'll have a little altar boy.
Oh my god.
You'll be walking around with the incense. We'll have an even older priest come in and bless the room. Right? And look, we won't be exclusive. We'll bring in all the priests. And they'll all have their own little altar boys.
Dude, we're gonna have a gangbang of priests in here.
Dude, you're not supposed to tell them. You don't tell them that. You let them do it first.
We'll film it and we'll put it on OnlyFans. You can buy it for $9.99. We'll have fucking Bella Thorne film it. How about that?
Yeah, look, we're gonna start a campaign to get Bella Thorne to direct our next podcast.
I'll lick her armpit hair.
He'll lick her
At
armpit.
the behest of my girlfriend, who will probably stab me 36 times in the face.
Yes, and the priest will be reading Bible passages as it happens. He'll be like, and in the name of all that is holy, do unto others as is done unto you. And then she'll just come in and she'll lick your armpit. She'll be like, oh, it's so salty. And then the priest will take his collar off. He'll be like, and he'll keep reading. That's all this is Bella Thorne licking your armpit hairs while the priest gets real hot in a room with no AC, and he just slowly starts taking off his clothes.
Ties his fucking collar around his nuts.
While he's reading Bible passages, and then Hillary Clinton will come into the room and she'll start whipping him. She'll just start whipping him,
And then she'll fall over.
and then Bill Clinton will be in the background in a pose like this, Just butt ass naked playing the saxophone.
He'd be like, I think I'm gonna have a drink today.
He'll be like, and it'll be intercut with African warlords slitting the throats of Redditors.
Oh my god.
Bill Clinton's just standing there like.
There's just blood pouring on him, and he's just like.
And then Donald Trump is like eating like a sandwich. He's eating like one of those big ass hoagies.
Oh my god.
And he's like telling two Proud Boys to lick
his asshole.
To lick his asshole while he's wearing like American flag underwear.
Like, that's the taste.
That's the taste of America.
That's the taste of $1 billion corporation.
We need to stop.
We need to end this. If anybody's still listening,
Look,
we love you.
Just be a good person. That's all we have to say. Be a good person. Do unto others as you do unto them. Hopefully you're not fucked up, because if that's the case, then
maybe one day this podcast won't sound like a Kanye West rant.
Oh god. Alright. Good job, buddy. Go be a good person.
Be a good person.